folks. First off, I want to apologize for the state of my voice. I just got back from Vegas about an hour ago for Jeff Lewis's ChumpCon, but the show must go on, and it is Monday, so this is your pop culture roundup with the amazing, the co-host of Snarkbait, Sophie Ross Brooks. Welcome back, Sophie.
Hi, I just turned on the camera and I'm like, ew. And so I'm like brushing my hair. I'm sorry. Oh. Ryan, I have such a fucking bone to pick with you.
Oh, yeah. Give it to me.
So anyone who knows me, and you know if you listen to the show that one of my like lifelong favorite movies is Malibu's Most Wanted.
With Jamie Kennedy.
From the
90s.
Ryan, have you like watched it yet?
Yeah, I have watched it now.
Oh, you ended up watching it? What'd you think?
Rad. Listen, I think a lot of I liked it, but I think it would have been different if I saw it in the 90s.
It was actually 2003, I believe.
Okay, if I saw it in 2003.
Anyway, Ryan kept saying, I'm going to FaceTime you with Jamie, with B-Rad, Gluckman.
Did.
Okay, it was the one time in my life I put my phone down. I was doing this vibrating board that Henry got me. Do you know what that is?
Wait,
and
Sophie, this is a family show. What do you? I don't want.
No, it's like an exercise board thing. And I remember, and you do it for 10 minutes at a time. I looked at I had already turned it on. I was like, oh, my phone's over there. You know what? This is better. Like I can just have 10 minutes without my phone. I immediately, as soon as I flip around my phone, I see that Ryan had just FaceTimed me with B-Rad Gluckman, aka Jamie Kennedy. I immediately call him back, not 2 seconds later. I call him back 3 times.
Okay.
Did not answer.
First off, I FaceTimed you twice. The second time I didn't realize you can leave video messages now on FaceTime. So I had Jamie say hello to Sophie. I said all this stuff, but then you called back, but then they had dragged me because I had to do a rehearsal. So I couldn't answer your call. And then I said, I'll do it later. But then the show got like so insane last night. I ended up like at a cigar bar with Jamie Kennedy and his girlfriend. And then it was 2 a.m. and I was like, I can't call you at 2 a.m. It's 5 o'clock in New York. I don't know how that was going to work, but Jamie knows. Now Jamie knows you. He knows your family. I've talked to you about you multiple times. So you will be talking to him at some point.
Thank God.
He's a really nice guy. He's a really nice guy.
I'm glad, if nothing else, I have that video now forever of Jamie in full B-Rad mode where he goes, where is you?
Yeah. He's wild, dude.
I love it. But I also told my cousin Janie, because you know my cousin Janie and we were obsessed with that movie together. And I was like, Janie, I'm going to loop you in when they call me. I'm just giving you a heads up. I know. It had this whole domino effect where a lot of people were disappointed. But at least you had fun.
Well, but I did try. Like I was.
I know.
And also, I'm supposed to get a video for Maritza of Jeff Lewis for like a family member, and I wasn't able to do that, so I got to do that tomorrow on radio. But like, guys, it was so. They had us like. I mean, it was amazing, but we were going from thing to thing to thing. And like, Sophie, I got to tell you, I had never hosted a show this large. It was in like the nightclub. Like there were video screens everywhere. It was we had a Tina Turner drag performer. We had male strippers. It was insane. Like Reza from Shaw's, Cynthia Bailey, Crystal Minkoff. It was like so insane. And I got to moderate. I got to moderate the whole thing. And and there was so much love out there. Like I said to Sophie beforehand, so many people listen to this podcast that were there and now listen to Snarkbait. And I got to tell you, it's overwhelming. Like we also do these things called fan socials where you can like have like a drink with me or lunch with me. And I did a couple of fan socials with some amazing ladies, and just like I met so many cool people, and I there's just so much love out there that it is shocking. Like, and people were like talking to me about my mom, and it was so much. You know how it is, Sophie? Like you get complimented a lot, you know, for your show and stuff. Like it is overwhelming because I'm not good with compliments, and I'm pretty nervous and negative about myself. So it's really, really wild to be like that in person because you want to make sure everybody's happy and doing a good job. But dude, there's nothing that prepares you for watching like karaoke with like Carney Wilson from Wilson Phillips singing "Hold On for One More Day." Like and people just keep giving you free drinks. Like Friday night, I was there's like a moment where you see me just cracking up and trying not to like fall down. It was insane. Anyways, but it turns out there was not just ChumpCon, which is what we call the Jeff Lewis thing. There was also Coachella this weekend. Sophie, I see that you're in New York. You didn't go to Coachella this weekend. Is that true?
No, I backed out at the last minute. I had my whole tent ready to go. I was going to camp out. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's been quieter this year. Like, I feel like usually Coachella's more of a thing and there's just less interest there.
Are we just getting older? Or
maybe.
Less of a thing?
I think that, like, I see a lot of nostalgia on social media for, like, 2014 Coachella. And I think that's because, like, back then it wasn't just for content. I think what makes it feel different is that it feels like a lot of people are there for the content and not, like, for the love of the game, for the music. So yeah, just it has a different feel to it now, I feel like, than it used to. But I still love seeing all the outfits and seeing the content. Like, I still love it.
Was there any celebrities that impressed you? Did you like Alex Earl's outfit?
No, all of the influencers.
Did you like Kylie Jenner's big old boob outfit?
All of the influencers were dressed kind of insane. Actually, Kendall looked really pretty. She was wearing like just a sundress. I think that like the vibe is looking like you didn't try at all. Like Kylie was wearing just like a t-shirt and a baseball cap.
Oh, so like my vibe?
Yeah, like your vibe all the time. But you started it. It's like quiet luxury, but like
people are really doing the Ryan Bailey at Coachella this year, I noticed.
Yeah. Yeah, instead of quiet luxury, it's quiet
quiet desperation and quiet Old Navy. Quiet Old Navy.
I was trying to think, what's the political correct term now for without a house?
Are you about
without
to
a
say
house?
The hard R, sir?
No, without a house, without a home.
Poor? Poor?
Quiet, poor.
Wait,
Ryan.
What are you saying, Sophie? Without a
Ryan,
house.
Quiet. Instead of quiet luxury, it's quiet poverty. That's
Bye, guys. 2025. Quiet poverty is the thing.
But that's like the vibe. That's the vibe, is like looking like you did not try. Like that's kind of like the cool. And then you have the Alex Earls, and I feel like a lot of the influencers were trying a little too hard, and I didn't really like their outfits. But I watched some of Lady Gaga's performance. Like she was unbelievable.
So you guys, Lady Gaga, I'm sure you know this, but she did, I guess it was like 4 acts. So she did like a operatic experience. And after I finished Friday, like I was hammered, but I still went back and watched all the clips on YouTube and TikTok. And I can't wait because they do it a second weekend next weekend, and I'm going to watch the live stream. But it seems like Lady Gaga did something really, really like that. She's a once in a lifetime artist. She really is an artist.
She's such a performer. And actually, our girl Olivia, who helps us do research for Snarkbait,
what up, Olivia?
She is a huge Lady Gaga fan. She's seen her 5 times, and she said that this was far and away. She was there. She was like, this was far and away like the best performance of hers I've ever seen. It was that good.
I saw Lady Gaga at Coachella when she replaced Beyonce because Beyonce got pregnant.
Yeah.
And it was really good, but it was nothing like this was a disaster.
Yeah.
Like, remember when Beyonce did the like Baycello, when she did like the HBIC with the whole, nobody expected it. I think Gaga did a very like artistic performance.
Yeah.
And then Saturday night was Charlie XCX, and Charlie XCX brought out Billie Eilish, Troye Sivan, and Lorde. Lorde came out, and that was I saw clips of that. That looked cool. But what I did see in the audience, Kylie Jenner rented out Timothée Chalamet for the weekend. Like the whole weekend, Timothy and Kylie were there together. And I got to tell you, it does look like this. He looks like he's 16 years old still.
He loves his little baddie. You can tell.
His little mustache, and he's got his little backpack.
I know. And there was like a video of them walking, and he does a little like butt tap where he's like, come on, little butt tap.
On her?
Yeah.
He touched her butt.
There was a lot of PDA, and you know what? He loves his little baddie, and that's, and I think of that tweet that was like everyone acting like Timothy, like he needed like the little intellectual instead of just a baddie. Like no one forced you to get a bob. Like,
do you think it would ruin Timothée Chalamet's career if somebody caught him like finger blasting Kylie at Coachella?
So I'm actually gonna throw up and die. I will say that her like dancing was pissing me off. I was watching the videos and I'm sure she was like on drugs and just like feeling herself, but she was like doing the thing where she was like her hair was just like hitting everyone else in the face around her. I'm like, I hate people like that.
Oh my God. But I was like, wow, they're at Coachella together. Like this is big. Like they are now a couple years into this relationship, right?
Yeah, they started dating in 2023, I believe. So yeah, it's like 2 years now. Pretty crazy, pretty crazy.
Well, I guess the big news though at Coachella too, and this happens every year, but like I guess it took like 12 hours if you were camping at Coachella to actually get into Coachella. They like hired a different service and it was like miserable. But here's the deal, like Coachella, it's a really special experience if you're there, but if you're not there, it just seems like everybody complains about it. And
Yeah.
But it's actually, anyways, I've always loved going. So I thought that was there any other things that stood out to you that you saw this weekend at Coachella or like?
Wait, so true or false? Kylie and Timothy left Coachella early to go to ChumpCon.
They were at Jeff Lewis's ChumpCon last night. And I got to tell you, like, after I did the stage show, like, I was nervous and he came up to me and he was like, dude, you get it. Like, I played, and he acted like he goes, I played Bob Dylan in a movie last year. And I was like, he acted like I didn't know what it was. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. He was like, you gave similar vibe. Like, I get what you're doing up there. And like, we rapped for a while. It was like, he's such a good dude, Timothy.
Wait, he came up and he was like, hey,
what's going on?
What's going on? I'm a baddie. I'm a baddie. I've listened for years. I love your Pop Culture Mondays.
Goes, can you tell Sophie to never do a snark bait episode about me, Timothy Chalamet? Which, by the way, who are you? So I saw Brianna Chicken Fry. You are still in Brianna Chicken Fry. Brianna Chicken Fry was at Coachella. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah, and I saw her. Yeah, the outfits, again, like the influencer outfits were kind of insane. But yeah, I did see that. So our subject this week, of course, we have Dark Energy Tuesday, which is like a little roundup, and we talk a lot about Coachella on tomorrow's Dark Energy Tuesday. But the Thursday's episode, we're stepping into Bachelor Nation for the first time. I'm not going to say who.
Who is it?
I'm not going to say who. Actually,
is it girl or guy? Girl or guy?
It's a surprise. Actually, I'm not going to say for the first time because, of course, we did our very first episode on Nick Viall. So this is someone else from Bachelor Nation, and yeah, you're gonna have to just see. It's a surprise, Ryan.
Well, Nick Viall, by the way, just signed a
30 million,
8-figure deal to continue
30 million.
His insanely successful podcast, and Cynthia Bailey and Crystal Minkoff have a podcast on his network called Humble Brag. And I am proud to say that Cynthia and Crystal will be on So Bad It's Good very soon.
Amazing.
And I talked to Crystal all weekend about the podcasting experience. So, you know, here at So Bad It's Good, Sophie and I want to give a big, warm congratulations to Nick Viall, right?
Oh, so now you're going to be like all fake nice to him? You're so two-faced.
I'm really proud of all of the work you're doing.
It actually, and Christy and I talked about this on Starkby too. I'm like, it actually is inspiring that you can have someone who seemingly a lot of people hate, and a lot of people hate his podcast, but clearly a lot of people love it too.
But that's the thing. Like, if you're successful in anything, what sucks about being successful is that to do it right, you also need people. You need a good segment of people to dislike you as well.
You don't get to hundreds of millions of downloads without making a few enemies.
That's right. Guys, I need everybody to send a big, solid prayer tonight because Gail King is going into space.
Oh, God.
With Katy Perry and Jeff Bezos' bride-to-be, Lauren Sanchez.
Oh, God.
So they are going on the Blue Origin rocket ship for a brief trip high above the Earth. And the first ticket for this sold for $28 million. This is Jeff Bezos' company. And this is going to brief voyage where it's going to take civilian passengers on a trip above the Kármán line, which is a 62-mile high, internationally recognized boundary of space, where they can experience a few minutes of weightlessness. But there is did you see the picture that they took, all the female? It looks like a Real Housewives trip gone wrong. And if you zoom in on Gail's face, she looks scared shitless in the photo.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of tweets of people being like, I have a really bad feeling about this. Like, a lot of people are like,
before. Like, it is scary.
a lot of people are like, I have just like really bad, like this is giving like just dark energy. That someone was like, it's giving Challenger summer all over again. And I was like, no, don't say that. Like, people are putting bad energy out in the world. I obviously don't want anything to happen.
No.
Anything bad to happen.
If something happens to Gail King,
yeah,
I'm coming for Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Katy, I don't want anybody to get hurt.
Yeah.
But also, do you think Katy Perry's going to like, do you think she's going to like sing as like the rockets like lifting into space? And what song do you think she'll sing?
'Cause baby, you're a firework.
I kissed.
What was that? What was that one song that came out that her new song that everyone hated and made fun of? It's a woman's world and you're lucky to be living in it.
Wait, Sophie, you're making fun of it, but I bet you there will be a video montage released with that because it's all women on this flight.
Oh my God. You know what song I do love of Katy Perry's though? And it's making its rounds on TikTok.
Last Friday night.
That's a good one, but 'cause when I'm with him, I am thinking of you. That song. You're like an Indian summer in the middle of winter. You know that song.
First off, Sophie, I had no idea you had those kind of pipes.
Guys, you're going to get I'm so sorry for the influx of bad reviews you're about to get. I'm about to tank your show.
The voice of an angel. Okay, so this weekend, Joey Zauzig is an influencer that's also on Jeff Lewis's show. He's a model. He calls himself a digital entrepreneur. But recently, he went on a branded trip to where was it? Like Italy. And guess who was on this branded trip with him?
Jesse Solomon and Wes Wilson, right?
You got it right. So there is video of Joey Zauzig listening to Jesse Solomon's new single. You know, what is it?
It's Baruch Atah Adonai.
Okay. I want to get into that one second, but I will say, I asked Joey this weekend, I said, give me the tea. I said, is Jesse Solomon the horniest dude that you've ever met? Was he just talking about smashing girls? And he goes, no, dude, he was awesome. I think it's maybe a little bit of an act, but he was saying nothing but positive things about both of those guys. But let's jump to this week's Summer House, which I haven't been able to do a recap yet because I was out of town. But I get a great text from Sophie. And I knew I would get this the day after. And my own girlfriend, I had a similar experience. This week's Summer House, they celebrated Shabbat. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And explain to the audience what Shabbat is in the Jewish faith.
Shabbat is the weekly day of rest. It starts on Friday night and until Saturday sunset, and you're just supposed to rest. You do a Friday night dinner where you light the candles. And this is every week. But Jesse hosted the Shabbat dinner and did the, Shabbat prayer. And you know what? I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for not even a nice Jewish boy. Oh, piece of shit Jewish boy. I'm sorry. I'm a Jesse Solomon apologist. As soon as he did that, I was like, he knows what he's doing. He's doing that just for me.
My girlfriend, same thing. She was like, look at this. Look at him. And just the week before, she was saying how gross he was.
Yeah.
And she was like, I love this. She was like, we should celebrate Shabbat. Like, we need to put our phones down more. And then I started getting yelled at for having my phone with me all the time because of Jesse Solomon. And then the thing is there are so many beautiful things about the Jewish faith and like all of the traditions, but is it offensive at all that he tried to turn that song into an R&B classic?
You know what? Like you'll find a lot of rabbis and cantors at shul do the same thing.
They'll try to do like an R. Kelly.
You gotta spice it up somehow. How funny was it though when him and Wes were talking about Lexi meeting his parents as if Lexi wasn't in the car with them?
Dude, that was insane. This poor Lexi, she seems to be handling it okay.
Yeah.
But wouldn't this mess with your head so much?
Yes.
Being treated one way and then having to watch back the experience where he is talking about what a drag it is. And then Lexi this week on Watch What Happens Live or on the after show said, I definitely believe something happened more than toe sucking in that 37 minutes.
Yeah, I think that she's finally like reality has hit her. It doesn't seem like they're still together at all. Apparently, she has a podcast where she talks about Summer House a little bit more. I cannot get myself to listen to it because it's apparently with her mom and her sister.
They're always there. They're always there, even
they're
on the show.
always there. But yeah, I feel bad for Lexi. I also feel like, you know, she seems like a sweet girl. She does.
What's the over-under that she actually is back next season? I think it's like little. I think there's no chance she's back next season.
Really?
Because the other girls don't seem to be forming relationships with her. Like they almost seem to be understanding and want to understand Jesse's side.
But the other girls don't.
Lexi.
But the other girls don't form relationships with anyone. And at the same time, they don't go out. They need people to come and bring the energy and the spark back to Summer House. Because I do feel like, as fun as this season has been, I've had fun watching it. I also feel like it doesn't have the same magic where people are actually degenerate partiers going out, having fun. It doesn't have that same vibe. I think that bringing Lexi back would add a layer of tension because Jesse was asked, he does Amazon Lives now because now he's like full-blown influencer.
Wait, Jesse Solomon does Amazon
Lives
now?
Yes, he's full-blown. And that's also kind of an ick. He's like at Coachella this weekend too. He's full-blown influencer.
By the way, guess who else is at Coachella this weekend? Sierra Miller.
Yeah, Sierra's too. Jesse alluded to the fact that he is like definitely going to be back this season, and apparently some of his friends might be recruited.
He said he has one of his boys that he thinks would be perfect for Summer House.
Oh God!
But I will say what I do appreciate about Summer House, and if you put Lexi aside, what I love is that this is what I love the most about reality shows is when you can tell there are real relationships. Like they do actually hang out and talk to each other on the off season. Like they were all over visiting Complex West where Wes Wilson works last week. And did you see that? Jesse Solomon was kind of holding.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This Jesse Solomon, he's a little thirsty. He wants that Instagram attention. You know what I'm saying?
He loves it. As soon as he was fired from like his real legitimate job, he's like fully embracing. I think that he's very smart and like cunning and knows that this is a very lucrative career path for him. So he's fully embracing it. Amazon Lives, Coachella, brand deals.
But also he's a housewife. Like if you watch him in scenes, he's very aware of everything going on.
Yeah.
And he'll usually like put the one, and I appreciate this. He'll put the one line out that starts the shit. And what did you, first off, and I feel like this is something you might have done on one of your first dates with Henry. Did you ever, I think you told me this, you brought Henry a lemon once and said, you make everything. You and make it lemonade like Lil did with Carl.
Yeah, like I physically brought like a lemon.
What did you think of that? Like, she brought him a lemon.
I mean,
And even Carl realized that it's too quirky.
I'm sorry, if Carl Radke thinks you're like weird and awkward, then like, wait, but I did love, just back to Jesse really fast, you're with like the little one-liners where he goes, hey, I just heard from God. He says we can get Carl's phone.
Yeah, because you're not so sweet. Okay, so you guys, if you didn't watch, Lindsay was coming out like hot because she thinks that this Lil girl that they were DMing before like they had broken up. So she would have this whole thing and she wanted to surprise Carl with it, and she was going to do it at Shabbat dinner. And you got to love Lindsay for like taking those big swings. But Carl, Carl's like, my phone is up in my room, and she's like very convenient and like, it was like, go get it, Carl. So I was really scared because I didn't know if Carl was lying or not. And it turns out Carl did stand 10 toes down and was like, she's like, you didn't tell me about meeting these parents Lil's parents at the soccer game. He goes, I'm sorry, Lil. I don't go around saying, I met some cool parents today. He actually stood up for himself in a more effective way than Carl usually does. And by the way, Lindsay actually dropped it instead of doubling down, which I appreciated from Lindsay.
That was like the one time that we saw Lindsay like really get shut up. Like I feel like she was just like completely shut down.
But I appreciate the attempt for that storyline though.
Yeah. It's funny though, because, Paige did that whole like spiel where she was like, Lindsay, like, she never apologizes even when she knows she's wrong. And of course, Lindsay didn't apologize in that moment, but Paige has never apologized when she's wrong either. It's like none of them do. And that's why it is fun to watch, but also frustrating to watch sometimes.
Was there any news in the Paige and Craig breakup saga this week, or are we over it? Because I know Craig is now dating that girl.
Yeah, apparently Craig is on vacation now with his new girlfriend. People noticed that they were posting like pictures from the same tropical location. So, and did you see that they renewed Southern Charm, obviously, but they're picking up cameras like next week so they can film the aftermath of Craig and the breakup and all of that. So definitely. The last thing I will say is that Rachel Lindsay, who was the Bachelorette at one time, and she has a couple amazing podcasts. I really love her. She'll be on So Bad It's Good this week. I interviewed her in person last week, and she says she was so busy last week, and I talked to her in LA, and she had just gotten back from New York. We were talking about Summer House, and she was like, I was just at lunch with Sierra. And I said, did you tell her you stay away from Jesse Solomon? Did you tell her? And she goes, no, we're friends. We weren't. And she goes, but I can guarantee that she does not want anything to do with Jesse Solomon. I can guarantee that. And then she was going to Coachella and with Sierra. And I said, I bet Jesse's going to be there. And I said, you tell her, you don't have to say it's from me, but you tell her, do not touch Jesse Solomon. And she said, do not worry. She will not touch Jesse Solomon. I believe Sierra when she says that she is done with the reality TV dudes because she has been made a fool way too many times. She knows that. She realizes it. I believe her. Like, I think that there is like a bit of chemistry there. And I think that Jesse Solomon, he's hot. He's fine.
Calm down. Oh my God.
Like, who could resist? Honestly, I'm only human. I'm only human.
What do you think his body count is for real?
Oh, I think he's one of those guys where it's like low key in the hundreds.
Oh, I think it's high key in the hundreds.
Yeah.
I will say this was sad news. And at first I got this email and I wanted to wait to share this with you is that I got an email last week that, how about having Jesse Solomon on So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey? And it turns out that April is Testicular Cancer Awareness Month. And this is no joke. It really is. And obviously, Jesse has battled this and won many times. And, they wanted to know if he wanted to come on to talk about his journey and to provide awareness for this, is that all men should get checked out, just like we want all women to get mammograms and things like that. And they are partnering with Movember, which is the leading charity changing the face of men's health, for the Know Thy Nuts campaign, and it's all about raising awareness around testicular cancer. And also Jesse's collaborating with the American Cancer Society on a special merch line that will be launching this month. So I was like, I'll talk to Jesse. And then I think somewhere around the end of the week, they might have heard the show at some point that I do. So Jesse Solomon will probably not be appearing on So Bad.
No.
I do want to say, and I told the reps, I will still, like I just did, mention this, is that this is a really good organization, and it's very good, and all joking aside, and it's probably best because I was already writing interview questions because I was like, this was one of my ideas, was that if we went 45 minutes, I was going to have a timer and I wasn't going to say anything. And then when we hit 37 minutes, I was going to be, Jesse, how long do you think we've gone so far in this interview? And he would say like 20 minutes. I go, no, 37 minutes. Just like when you were in that room where you got your toe sucked. I was already ready.
You had that all planned out. I'm sorry it can't come to fruition. Now I'm going to steal that. I'm going to get him on Snarkbait. What's the snark on Jesse Solomon featuring Jesse Solomon?
Oh, you want to talk about me kissing somebody's ass? You wait till Jesse Solomon goes on Snarkbait. This guy, it'll be it. Oh my God.
Guys, but everyone knows I'm a Jesse Solomon apologist. I'm not hiding it.
Okay, this week, guess what? We've got big news also. The Valley Season 2 premieres, and we had the premiere party for The Valley just a couple of nights ago. And did you hear about this? That Michelle Lally, well, she's not Michelle Lally anymore because her and Jesse.
We always forget her actual last name.
But what's the correct way to say it?
It's like Sinai. Is it Sinai? Sinai? I don't know. Just go by Lally. That should just still be her stage name. She's too new on the scene. It gets too confusing. Just stick with Lally.
Well, doesn't Scheana do that with Scheana Shay?
Yeah, but Scheana Shay only does that because she likes the way it sounds. She literally married him just because she likes the way it sounds.
Oh, my God. Well, get this, you guys. They had this premiere party the other night, and Michelle Lally got into it with Jessie Lally at the premiere party. And Us Weekly said that Michelle's current boyfriend, Aaron Nosler, and Jessie were having a pleasant conversation when Michelle confronted her ex during the season 2 party and said, "I'll never forgive you for calling me a hooker." And the source notes that Jessie apologized repeatedly, but the incident escalated when Michelle's boyfriend jokingly quipped, "Well, just so you know, I only date hookers." The insider says that Jessie pointed out that Michelle's boyfriend literally just called you a hooker. However, Michelle responded that Jessie would, quote, "One day you will have to explain this to your daughter." According to the witness, Jessie apologized again, and he planned on explaining his actions to the pair's 4-year-old daughter, Isabella. Jessie said, "I will explain it to her, and I will explain that I did it because I was hurt, but it's not okay, and I am sorry," because even in the preview, we see that she calls basically Michelle like a high-priced hooker.
Oh, God. They are just
Made for reality TV. If they're fighting at a premiere party,
made for reality TV. They are so poisonous. Like it's just such a toxic relationship. It's crazy that it ever worked between them. But I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait to watch that shit play out. And Jax. First of all, loved the Valley Van trailer. I know we haven't been able to watch the whole thing yet, but we talked about it also on Snark Babe. I'm so excited.
Oh no.
I'm just crying at how just red and juicy Jax looks. He's just really oh.
So what Sophie's talking about, you guys, we mentioned it last week, but I like about 10 people in, I don't know, it's influencers or whatever. I got asked to do this Valley promo, and they didn't tell you who you were paired up with until a day or two before. I got in the car with Jax, Schwartz, and Jessie Lally. So I was scared shitless already. I don't, I've talked a lot of shit about Jax over the years. And so we get in the car, and you're going to see more. There's a whole solo thing of just me and those 3 dudes coming out May 5th, where you'll see a longer conversation. But this dude, like I said in it, he really is yoked. He goes, "I've gained 15 pounds of muscle." And he looks like he shaved his chest. And he was and then Schwartz, on the other hand, looked like goofy Schwartz. And Jessie was just somewhere in the middle. And it was, I think it was okay. I think I pulled it off. But man, you want to talk about feeling like you're on acid or something? That was such a weird experience being in that car with them.
Wait, who was talking about acid, by the way? Or were you just reflecting on ChumpCon?
No, I haven't done acid. I've only done acid one time in my life. One time.
Okay, sorry, I don't want to get us too off track.
By the way, it was at Lady Gaga at Coachella.
Epic.
No joke.
Wait, are we allowed to say how you had kind of a no-fly list of things you couldn't say, or they didn't approve, and you couldn't call Jax a work in progress?
Okay. I think I can say this. Yeah. So basically, they already gave you a list of questions. It was supposed to be really fun and upbeat and positive. And in my head, I was like, how do I make this fun, upbeat, and positive when Jax has gone on a whole campaign trail about being a cocaine addict and getting a divorce and all of this stuff. So how do I make that fun? And so they gave me a bunch of questions, and then they said I could give my own questions. And so I gave a list of questions, and one of my questions was hey, is everybody in the car a work in progress? Because Jax always says each year a work in progress. And so they didn't let me do that one. But I will say Jax does say something that sort of sounds like work in progress. And I was biting my tongue because I wanted to say work in progress. But guess who saved me? Tom Schwartz was like, "You mean you're a work in progress, Jax?" Schwartz threw Jax under the bus. I don't know.
What did he say? Was he "I'm evolving, I'm ever evolving, ever changing"?
He's I'm an ever. There was something. I hope it makes the cut because it was so funny. Because Schwartz in the backseat, and I almost lost it. But they did let me ask, "Can we all do ayahuasca together?" Which I thought. I was like, how do you not let me say that, but you'll let me say the ayahuasca because Jessie Lally did ayahuasca. And by the way, Jessie Lally told me this won't make the cut either, but he was like, "I've done ayahuasca a handful of other times since that time you saw on the Valley season 1.
I'm kind of interested.
I kind of
between Jessie Lally and Shep. there's a lot of ayahuasca promotion happening that's working on me.
I will say, I am curious about it. I don't even know where you do it or how you get it. Do you have to go to Costa Rica? Like, I don't know. Like, you know. And by the way, like,
yeah,
if Shep like offered that as like a retreat, like I would pay money to have Shep go through an ayahuasca journey with me, because wouldn't that be funny to report on?
You know how Shep is like doesn't have like a business or a job? Like, what if that like he like started like he made like CBD, but it was ayahuasca gummies. And like started doing like brand trips and retreats. Like he probably is like sitting on a gold mine and he doesn't even realize it.
Oh, completely. We had the second part of the Beverly Hills reunion this week, you guys. I know Sophie doesn't really watch this show, but I want to
anymore. I used to.
But I will say there was a couple things that happened. Garcelle kind of called out Kyle about not talking about Schmorgan Schmade, the country singer, that they're like a really tight friendship. And Kyle has reached out to Garcelle. There was an article reaching out to her since she left the show, and she revealed that Garcelle is not responding to any of her texts, which is whatever. That's fine. But there was also then, I don't know if you saw this, Sophie.
The altercation.
Okay, so there is the video, you guys, where Kyle Richards and Teddy Mellencamp are out like just in public in Beverly Hills. And there's like this bigger lady that's like walking three dogs, but she's kind of dragging them forcefully. And I guess Kyle, like, stop doing that with the dog. Stop doing that. And Kyle is immediately, did you notice how she had her phone out immediately filming it before anything happened? And the lady is like, you can only see it. You can't really hear what she's saying, but the lady starts arguing with Kyle and then throws off her shawl, the lady, like a pro wrestler, and like comes at Kyle, and Kyle like is trying to film the altercation, but like she's trying to also hide behind Teddy Mellencamp, and Teddy's going through intense cancer right now, and Teddy's stepping to this lady. First off, I'm like, we got to get this lady on Beverly Hills. This is a cast member right there. Like, wouldn't you see this lady as a cast member if she's willing to step to Kyle like that?
Oh my God, absolutely. Like, let's get, I mean, who needs an ally right now? Like who, like Sutton needs an ally. Yeah. Sutton needs an ally. I think
wouldn't that be funny if they surprise Kyle with this lady? They don't give who the new, and it's the lady with the dogs. Like Kyle, because I just have a feeling like Kyle was probably scared shitless. Now, Teddy seemed very, like, even going through all that cancer shit, she was like, kept like.
Yeah, Teddy's like, I don't fear death.
Yeah. She's like, if this is how I go, this is how I go. But I was like, this is so intense. But what was even funnier was like Kyle's filming it with her phone, and then there's a paparazzi guy across the street filming the whole altercation.
That was the best part. Imagine like you're just like a paparazzi guy wandering the streets of whatever it is. Was it like West Hollywood? And you're just like waiting to see, and then that happens. Oh my God.
Dude, imagine like, even if you weren't a paparazzi, say you're just walking down the street, if you got to see a moment like that, wouldn't you feel so blessed? Like I got to see Kyle Richards get into a fight with a lady with three dogs.
Oh my God, absolutely.
I am also hearing something because obviously Schmorgan Schmade, Morgan Wade, the country singer, somebody told me recently that Morgan Wade is she never has officially come out. Morgan, not Kyle, Morgan. And
I didn't realize that
Morgan was an open lesbian. It turns out she is not.
She has women as love interests in her music videos, which I feel like is kind of like a, like it's kind of it's not confirmation, but like it would lead people to believe that you're interested in women. But like, I don't know, maybe that's just an assumption.
But I didn't realize that more. I just thought that was an interesting little tidbit. Take it for what it is. So like, maybe that's part of also why Kyle doesn't want to talk about it, because maybe Morgan isn't fully out. It was
right.
Okay, so moving on. None of us are watching the Kardashians this current season. But
my girlfriend is. My girlfriend is. She's like, "Am I the only one watching? I'm loving this season." I was like,
"She loves it."
Yeah, she likes it. I was like, what do you mean? It was so shocking to hear.
Well, did you see this article about Lamar Odom having a Khloe Kardashian sex doll?
Oh my God. Yes, I did see that, and it remains disturbing. Yes.
So he has a sex doll. This is no joke, you guys. You can look at the TMZ article, and I believe they talk about it on the reality show. But she was like, he has this sex doll that he can have sex with that looks like Khloe. And she, in her confessional, said, am I supposed to be flattered by this? This validates just how different we are and how much we've grown apart. And it's creepy and it's weird, but I'm not hurt by it. It's his journey. It's just weird and gross. Are we allowed to say sex dolls are a part of a journey?
Yeah, it's not part of a journey. It is weird and gross. Like it should be illegal, actually.
But, okay, let's put weird and gross aside. Would you ever be willing to have a Timothée Chalamet sex doll? If it was free, you don't pay. Like somebody offers it to you. You don't.
How do like male sex dolls work? Would be my question. Is it like a dildo attached to like an inflatable tube man?
Yeah, they do have to push a button to like
rectify the penis.
And then wait, okay, here's another dumb question. Even like the female ones, say you have like you make love to the doll, how do you clean out the doll? Like how do you do that?
How do people clean out like anything? Like their fleshlights? Like fleshlights. Like how do you
wait. Okay. What is the fleshlight the like the dildo?
Ryan, don't act like you don't know.
No. I know it's a sex toy. I'm asking what is it, like the DILDO thing? No, I'm not joking.
A fleshlight is like it's what it's a sex toy for men to stick their dicks into.
Why do they call it a light?
I don't know actually. Because I think it's like small and portable. Like it looks like a flashlight maybe, but it's a fleshlight. So I don't know. Right. I literally just thought of that.
Easy to hold. Okay.
Yeah, it's like portable, but I don't know how men clean their fleshlights. I don't really want to know, frankly. It's not really my business.
That's never going to be like a snark bait topic.
No. Yeah, actually.
I'm just trying to differentiate so you're not hearing the same stories.
I mean, like a Joe Burrow one, though.
Wait. Okay. No, how about this? Joe Burrow, but it's Joe Burrow with a vagina. Would that weird you out?
How that was like all of his outfits this past season. People were like, he looks like Ellen DeGeneres. He looks like a really wealthy lesbian. Like he kept wearing like flared pantsuits. By the way, one of his teammates, Sam Hubbard, who also he's from Cincinnati, plays for the Bengals, went to Ohio State with Joe Burrow. Anyway, got married this weekend. I'm creepy. And I follow his now wife on Instagram, even though she's private. And I was watching the footage, like the Instagram stories from that wedding, like the Zapruder film. So I could spot Joe Burrow, and I did. He was indeed there.
See, this is where I feel like this is why you're so good at like internet culture, and this is where I am not, because like I don't even follow the Kardashians anymore. But like you're following random like wives of football players. Like why follow them? Like you can see the shit without having to follow them. Like
you gotta want it. You gotta want it. Oh, also, by the way, Henry got me Kardashian crumble cookies the other night.
Wait, the Kardashians have their own line of crumble cookies?
Yes. So he was like,
good?
I surprised you. And everyone knows my love language is like dessert. He was like, I surprised you. I ordered dessert. And I was like, what is it? He's like, it's a surprise, but it's pop culture related. And I was like, okay, well, obviously it's Kardashian crumble cookies. And he goes, how'd you know? I'm like, what other pop culture dessert is there? But they were actually Chris's yellow cake. I need the recipe for that. They all had their own little flavor. It was really good.
Do you think Kris Jenner made the recipe? So
yeah, she developed it in the lab.
Oh my God. Wouldn't it be cool if Henry one day was like, I surprise you and you come
and it's Kris Jenner.
No, no, no. It's Kris Jenner's cookies with a Joe Burrow sex doll, and he's like, "I'm just gonna leave for the night." And and he lit candles, and he's playing Enya music, and he's like, he set up a whole romantic scenery, and he just said, "I just want to keep this relationship fresh." And wouldn't that be crazy?
It's Kris Jenner in an apron, and all of a sudden, our kitchen has black and white tiles. And
this is before I met you, but I used to do these like 5 years ago. Remember when Kris Jenner, it wasn't a sex doll, but she had a wax mannequin that looked exactly like. And I used to joke that I was in love with the mannequin Kris Jenner because it looked so real. And I think Kim has it at her place now. But I thought it was like a pretty kind of I thought it was an attractive mannequin, and I guess Kim bought it. And that was like a whole bit back in the day.
Should we steal the declaration of it? Should we steal Kris Jenner's wax figure from Kim's house?
That would be our national treasure reboots. Which, by the way, I interviewed this guy for the Diddy case. I didn't realize at one of Diddy's white parties, he brought out the actual Declaration of Independence that was on loan to him at one of his white parties. Diddy brought out the actual Declaration of Independence for 20 minutes.
Imagine doing lines of ketamine off of the Declaration of Independence. Just imagine.
But isn't that such a Scarface move? That's the kind of shit that, he thinks that's a baller move.
I know. He's so evil and scary, honestly.
Did you see? There's a story. So he's in the prison. His trial starts in May or jury selection. And right now, he is trading, I guess, mackerel, that kind of oily tuna thing. That is considered money in prison, mackerel. So he has a huge mackerel, he gets money on his books, and he trades mackerel for favors in prison.
Oh, how far the mighty have fallen.
I know,
That's
right?
crazy to think about.
Okay, Sophie, you are a naturally young looking person.
Thank you. Oh my God.
But I don't know if you were aware, even I was aware, as busy as I was, I had to stop and make a meme about this. Is that we haven't seen her in a while, but Real Housewives of New York City alum Ramona Singer had a little bit of at first I was like, maybe this isn't Photoshop, but it looked like she looked like a 14-year-old girl in the photo. And I know the substance is but I will say like Lindsay Lohan, she looks better than she's ever looked. The youngest she's ever looked, Lindsay Lohan. So then I was like, maybe Ramona got to Lindsay Lohan's surgeon or something like that. But you saw the photo. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. She looked younger than Avery, her daughter. It was just insane. It was, and then she tried to deny that she facetuned.
Okay, guys, she's a total ally. She blamed her gay friends.
Yeah.
She says, "Oh, my gay friends did this." That is don't blame it on the gays. The gays would not do that to you. I do not blame that on the gays.
Oh my God, she is something.
But we started the Facetune Bureau of Investigation years ago on this show, and I don't really do it that much anymore because as I got older, I started realizing I don't want to get shit for making fun of women's looks, but sometimes it's so egregious.
Yeah.
I had to come out of retirement.
And also people have gotten better about it. When it first came out, you will look back at my Instagram and my teeth, they look like Carl Radke's veneers because I would whiten them so much. But I feel like people have learned how to use the tools with discretion and
Wait. You actually used Facetune?
Oh my God. Yeah. I still will if there's a picture of my teeth. It's basically my teeth. If my teeth look yellow in a photo or if my forehead looks greasy, you just touch it up. I don't do the thing where I change my entire face, but it's those little tools to fix up your appearance a little bit. There's an app called Face App where you literally can change how your face looks. I don't use that, but a lot of influencers do. I won't say names. Serena Kerrigan.
Wait. By the way, Serena Kerrigan been on the show a couple years ago, but I do want to say something about Serena Kerrigan. And I'm not trying to slam her at all. But she says she's
confident
30 years old.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think she's not. Okay, so she's definitely not lying about her age. Like she's
Okay,
not,
that's
because
what I wanted to ask. Is she lying about
she's
her
not,
age or
because
Okay.
I worked at Refinery 29 at the same time as her, and I knew when she started, she was recently graduated. So I know she's not lying about her age.
Okay.
I think it's a multitude of factors from the work she's had done. She's also in Manjuro, which is Ozempic. And also just like the way I thought you were going to say she says she's confident, but then she changes her entire face on Instagram. That's the part that I take issue with. And we talk about this. We have a whole episode about her on Stark Bait, because I think it is so fascinating that you can make an entire brand about being one thing and then actually not being it at all. But it's kind of crazy how these people like attract their audiences based on a lie. And she's not the only one. A lot of people do this.
Well, we were talking about Remy Bader last week, or
oh god,
Snark Bait as well. Like, but that's what the influencer culture is more popular than ever. YouTube is the most watched. People watch YouTube now more than TV and film combined. There was an article last week about it, and people are just watching influencers. And I still don't fully understand it, because I'm like, it's entertaining, but I still appreciate story structure. I still appreciate, which I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
It's now a week removed. What did you think of the finale of The White Lotus?
I already forgot about it, which I think is a sign. And I said this, I was like, I feel like it's a bad sign when I'm not like, so like reading all the theories and the Reddit threads. I'm like, no, I'm already over it. Like nothing about it to me was very memorable. I thought that, and I know, I saw the comment on Spotify. I was like, Sophie, don't act like you could write better than Mike White.
Oh, by the way,
write dialogue.
Oh, I forgot about that. There was a comment. Thank you for leaving comments on Spotify, but we are in the middle of a Mike White, Sophie Ross feud that we're starting.
Yeah.
I don't think Mike's fully aware of the feud yet, but there is a feud, because on last week's episode, Sophie could write this in her sleep, she said, pretty much.
No, I was saying that like the some of the dialogue was like a little bit corny, where it was like Rick being like, I'm gonna avenge my father. It's like, what is this? Like, come on.
Dude,
like,
I'm
just
such a sucker. I loved it. I thought it. I
know. I saw that you thought he really stuck the landing.
I did.
I didn't personally. I think that there were so many like things that you're just like, well, why did that scene happen? Like, what was the point of this?
But at the same time, we have to suspend disbelief. Like, not everything is going to line up with like,
why
weren't the police?
Yeah, there's a mass shooting, and then the firsthand witnesses who were right there are just like on the next boat out. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
oh,
wait.
$5 million wire transfer. Oh, that's not going to raise any red flags. Happy ending.
Well, the one thing I will say, like Patrick Schwarzenegger's character on the boat on the way out, I'm like, you became pretty friendly with that Amy Lee Wood in the show. Like, wouldn't you be horrified that the girl you spent the week with fucking got shot and died, and now you're on the boat out? That was the only thing that kind of weirded me out.
Oh, see, that part I actually rationalized. I was like, maybe he didn't know. Like, he didn't find out.
No, but they had to have shut that whole White Lotus place down if there were 4 deaths, 2 security guards.
Yeah, but the $5 million wire transfer, acting like that's like a normal thing that won't raise any red flags anywhere. I was like, come on, Mike White.
Don't ruin my dreams, Sophie. I want to believe in a $5 million wire transfer, because I want to believe that will happen for us one day.
Oh, my God.
Like Nick Viall. He probably got a $30 million wire transfer this past week.
Oh my God. I don't know. I thought that it was just, it didn't stick the landing for me personally. And then everyone was like, oh my God, Carrie Coon's monologue. And I was like, yeah, it was like,
God damn it, Sophie. I love the Carrie Coon
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to like go against the grain. It almost felt like it was like kind of like that Emmy bait moment where it was like, that's her winning the Emmy.
It's Emmy bait because it deserves an Emmy.
She was great. I think that monologue was well done. It didn't like just like completely take me away and transport me and make me emotional like it did for everyone else, it seemed.
You have made our audience, Snarkbait audience, and Mike White very aware that you are an excellent writer. How would you have written that scene? Give it to me.
I would change a lot of things about the season, personally. I think there needed to be more of like a bridge between, a lot of people are trying to rationalize that conversation that happened between Victoria Ratliff and Kate from the friend group. And people are like, well, it was developing the characters. I was like, it didn't develop anything for me. I just have questions. I think that there was something, and Jason Isaac said that there was something that was supposed to happen between the two of them that got cut. So again, I feel like there were just little things that just fell off. And I understand they're supposed to be red herrings, but it didn't. Like, so many things didn't land. The red herring
was the poisonous fruit, but they cut the whole storyline of the final episode of Belinda's son slept with the Ratliff daughter.
Oh yeah, Zion.
She loses her virginity to Zion in the final episode.
Yeah,
and I was like, how? And they filmed that, you guys. They filmed that cut was originally 2 hours long, but I was like, thank God you cut that, because that would have been so shoehorned in a way. Like, to me, that would have been too much.
Zion, the Disney Channel actor, he goes, "This is your moment, Mom. I'm not giving up your dream, Mom. I'm giving up yours.
Mom, you gotta get that money, Mom. We gotta do this.
Oh, don't trip. Your place is baller." Like, come on. He was literally, I felt like I was watching Riverdale. I'm sorry. And I have historically been obsessed with White Lotus in the past. I love the first season, love the second season. Just this season didn't do it for me. I still love Mike White. I still love this series. I'm excited to keep watching it. This was my least favorite season.
That's what I wanted. During ChumCon, somebody came up to me and talked to me about your comments about Severance. And because I had a couple drinks in me, and she was like, I agree with Sophie. I think Severance sometimes. And I was like, no, I will not accept that.
Wait, Ryan. Sorry to interrupt. Sorry.
What? Is it?
I was just going to say, that Family Guy sound where they're drowning in the safe room, and then Peter Griffin goes, I just need to say one thing. I didn't care for The Godfather. You know that sound?
Yeah. Everybody was doing that meme at the end of the when that TikTok was going away.
Yes, and he goes, it insists upon itself. Like, that's how I felt not only about Severance this season, but White Lotus, where it's kind of insisting upon itself. And I love Severance. I think Severance is brilliant and a near flawless show, but I also felt like there were moments where it was insisting upon itself, where it's like, oh, look at me. I'm a really intelligent, highbrow show that's won a bunch of Emmys,
Listen, I want to say, I don't watch it thinking I'm such a smart guy. I watch it just because I'm genuinely fascinated and interested in it. So I don't think this is a show for smart. I don't consider myself smart. I just geek out because I think it's a perfect blend of sci-fi, like mystery, Twin Peaks. Like, I like all of this weird shit in one show. I don't consider it. Anyways, I was just pissed that somebody came up and agreed with me.
Wait, one of Henry's friends is a neurologist, and I was with him today because, of course, all the boys were watching the Masters. I was like, who gives a fuck?
Sundays are for the boys. Wait, by the way, the Masters is this golf tournament. I guess this Rory guy.
Rory McIlhaney or something.
Everybody's all excited online.
Yeah, it was like really exciting, apparently. I don't know. I was watching it. I didn't think it was exciting. But anyway, he's a neurologist, and we were talking about Severance, and he was like, the way that they do the procedure, they literally just cut, they sever the brain. He was like, I don't know how that works.
I also will say, it is funny in the second season, they drill a hole in Adam Scott's head, and they never really talk about how he's just walking around with a hole in his head. Like, doesn't
in his basement? In his basement, it's like, that's not really sanitary. I would say.
Not at all.
Skipping some steps there that probably.
So White Lotus didn't do it for you, but as we wind down here, what are the shows that are doing it for
Black
you?
Mirror new season.
Okay. So I was away this weekend.
So
season
good.
7 premiered on Friday. Have you watched all the episodes?
I've watched 5 out of 6. And
you love them.
All 5 of them have been kind of like Black Mirror at its best. They have been so good. There's one episode that I think is the weakest one that I didn't love as much, but for the most,
Paul Giamatti one was good. Have you seen
that's
that
the one that I haven't watched yet. That's literally the one. But the USS Callister sequel was amazing. There's one with Rashida Jones and I forget his name, the Irish or Scottish actor. I think he's Irish. That was in Bridesmaids. That episode is called Common People. It was amazing.
So
also,
you dug it.
Oh my God. I love Black Mirror in general. You guys know that I love any sort of freaky anthology series like Twilight Zone or Are You Afraid of the Dark or Goosebumps? Any sort of creepy, I love that shit. Black Mirror is my shit. I've even been going back and rewatching all the old episodes.
That's what I was going to me and Rebecca were talking about like, should we go back and watch? Because we've seen every episode.
Yeah.
Then we were like, we got to watch the new ones, but maybe we should go back and start from the beginning.
There are some that are worth revisiting, some that are so heartbreaking and so sad and difficult to watch that I don't care to revisit. It just depends on your preference. So I'm rewatching the ones that I can stomach, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So you recommended that, but you didn't do Love on the Spectrum yet.
Oh my God. I started the first season. I'm watching like in order. So I started the first
season. I can't say enough good things about it still.
Yeah.
But I was having an interesting conversation with, actually, this is a good tease for this week. I interviewed Alex Baskin, the producer of Vanderpump Rules, Beverly Hills, OC, a lot of new shows. And we got into a conversation about, do you like shows that you can binge all at once, or are you enjoying weekly formats again?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking you.
It depends on the show. Like sometimes it is like something like The Traitors, for instance, if we're talking like reality, like that is so fun to like not know what happens right away. And also people with jobs, like you sometimes like if you were able to binge everything at once, it would ultimately be spoiled for you if you weren't able to watch it all at once. But then obviously like there are shows where it's fun to binge a bunch of episodes at once. I don't know. It depends. I feel like we're moving away from the binge stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like with like White Lotus and Severance and Traitors,
yeah,
it's been kind of nice to look forward to something every week.
Yeah.
Whereas Love on the Spectrum, it was one of my favorite seasons, but I watched all 7 episodes in one day. And now it's probably not going to be out for another 2 years. And I kind of wish it had been weekly instead of all at once.
Yeah. It also like, I hate not having like a show. Like on Sunday nights now, I'm like, I don't have a show. Like I hate not having a show on a weeknight because it gives you something to look forward to before you go to bed and go to work the next day, you know?
Have you ever thought of hanging out with your husband?
Please. Please don't make me do that. Please.
So guys, Snark Bait, we rate and review. You guys killing it because it's a great podcast. I think this is the future of podcasting right here. We got Dark Energy Tuesday coming up. Brianna Chicken Fry. What is the one thing in the research that we have done for Brianna Chicken Fry? What like stands out to you as something interesting that we might not know, or something that really sticks in your craw?
She's just lived so many lives for being only 25 years old. I think now, she's 25. Yeah, she's only 25 years old.
How old was Zach Bryan?
I want to say like 28. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Like 40 or something.
Let me look it up. Really fast. But like, she's just lived so many lives. It's kind of insane. He's 29. It's insane how many lives she's lived. And also like, you can be kind of this, she came from a very troubled background and grew up in trailer parks, allegedly.
And she grew up with Grace O'Malley, right? Like
grew up with Grace O'Malley, her ex-best friend, and dropped out of college, and she like made it. She like, you know, she started posting on TikTok, and that has taken her to where she is today. It's like the power of social media is fucking crazy. Like you can be literally like a nobody. And that's kind of the beauty of social media. And even if we make stupid, annoying, terrible people famous, we also make like people that are deserving famous because of social media. So
do you think she's a deserving famous person?
No, I'm not going that far. Yeah, I'm not going that far, but I think that it's amazing that she has been able to use social media to her advantage in this way.
Do you ever I always notice with her videos on TikTok, she'll always do the lip syncing to the rap song. She'll be like, ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. Do you ever do that on your, like, I've never had the bravery to lip sync a song on TikTok. And I think that would probably not be my lane anyways. But I think I did like once. I think I did literally once. It was that Barbie. What was the Barbie song that was like Barbie girl?
No, it was like in the Barbie movie because I'm bad like the Barbie and I don't want to party.
Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, I did that song like way back when like Barbie was a thing, and I think that's it. I don't have the balls to do that. these
I
days.
also don't know, how do you do the TikTok feature where it always like speeds up the camera? Like, I don't know how, like, the TikTok.
I don't know how to do anything on TikTok. Literally, I don't know how to do anything.
I know how to watch TikTok, and sometimes I'll talk, you know?
Yeah, I need like a TikTok seminar or course.
Okay, anyway, sorry to keep talking. I'm genuinely curious. What else would you got? Anything else on Snarkbait that we got to look forward to?
No, again, there's a mystery Bachelor Nation person that we're covering this week. I think that.
Well, Rachel Lindsay's coming on the podcast this week, so please.
It's not Rachel Lindsay. Rachel Lindsay is an angel. It's not Rachel Lindsay. She is. So, yeah, listen to Snarkbait.
And also, guys, if you have any information, and Sophie, you might know this. Did Kylie and Timothy stay for Travis Scott's set at Coachella? Because that's Stormy's father, Travis
Guys,
Scott.
let us know what's the tea? What's the tea on that? I was wondering that too.
And do you think that, like, obviously they both went to Charlie XCX together, Timothy and Kylie.
Yeah.
What else did they check out? Because I feel like Timothy, more of a rock and roll guy. And I feel like Kylie,
like a Bob Dylan type.
Yeah. Like, was there any bands that he wanted to see that he dragged Kylie to, or did they ever split up of like, I'm gonna go check out this rock band, I'm gonna go check out the Misfits, and I'll meet you back here? Like, did he make her stay for like Green Day? Do you think she knows who Green Day is?
I don't think so. Also, like, the fact that Travis Scott is allowed to headline Coachella after what happened at Astroworld is still egregious to me.
That's what I didn't want to make it because it's not funny, but I was like, did everybody make it out alive from Travis Scott?
No, like, can we talk about that? Like, that is like, I'm still not over it. I think it's crazy that he is like even allowed to do that.
And he paid, do you know they paid $12 million just for his set, just for his design set, for his performance. Like, I understand with somebody like Lady Gaga. I've never been able to appreciate, even before Astroworld, I've never been a Travis Scott fan.
Yeah.
I know how huge he is, but $12 million for that shit. Like, I don't know. For some reason with Lady Gaga, I understand production value, but with Travis Scott, and especially after Astroworld, I don't get spending that much money.
No, I don't either. It's a mystery, honestly.
Okay, guys, I'm going to go rest my voice. But Snarkbait, Dark Energy Tuesday, let's do this. And thank you guys for listening. Thank you for all the kind comments. And just keep listening. There's great episodes this week, you guys. Alex Baskin was a dream interview. I cannot wait for you guys to hear this. And I will talk to you on Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.